I just saw a video and it said dating apps have created a horrible dynamic for men because there's select few really good looking men and they clean up on those apps. And because they clean up on those apps and they have so many options, they typically are jerks. They have a whole roster, they go from woman to woman. They have multiple women at their beck and call, so they don't really give a shit. And then the rest of the guys are on the dating apps getting no matches because all the other guys are cleaning up.
Yes. Okay, this is exactly the truth. And there's also data to support this, right? A very small percentage of guys get selected overwhelmingly, and then the rest of the guys basically get the odd match here and there, but not that many. What does that tell you? Well, it tells you that girls pick from a very, very small pool, okay? We can blame guys and say that, well, dating apps create a bad environment for men, but it doesn't really change that much. In reality, it's going to be the same. The only difference is when you're in person, right? There's a little bit more of an opportunity to create some emotional effect through what you say or what you do or context, right? You're looking at dating apps, you're purely looking at people for just what they have to show, almost as if they're branding themselves, right? So how they present themselves in this app, you're looking at a very cut and dry. And certain people are really good at presenting themselves and certain people aren't, right? This is basically just how it is. So, I mean, I don't know if it's a bad situation for guys. I just think it exposes the reality of what dating has always been. That's all it does. I don't think it's any different than it ever was in the past, even before dating apps. I just think, like I said, it exposes a very specific reality about how women select men when it comes to attractiveness or what they're attracted to.
And then the girls that are matching with the good-looking guys, they're saying all men are jerks because they're matching with the select few good-looking guys. And then the men are going, well, women are jerks because I'm not getting any matches. That's why apps are horrible, because you're just seeing a photo of someone. You don't know anything about the person, you don't know their personality. And
Okay. In the end, I'm not trying to blame anybody. This just is the reality of how dating works and how it's always worked, right? This is one of the greatest pieces of evidence for hypergamy, right? Because it's not about any of these things. As soon as you strip away this personality component, what you see is exactly what you see out in the real world as well, right? Girls will pick from a very small select pool of guys. End of story. Guys, you'll see they're going to start swiping on everything, right? A few guys will alter their algorithm and they won't just swipe on everything, right? But the truth is, overwhelmingly, most guys will swipe on a lot of different girls. We're essentially seeing raw data of how women select and how men select, and we can clearly see it's different. So if we take anything away from this, at least it gives us data to understand that men and women select very differently, okay? Innately, of course. And that's fine. I just want to address the reality that hypergamy is a very real thing.
personality is huge. Like, how a person is can make or break a person. But you cannot see that on an app. You're merely just judging someone off their appearance.
I mean, let's just be honest about it. I know she's trying to wrap this up by she's trying to be nice about it, basically. And I get it, okay? You're trying to basically save face and say, oh, well, you can't know a person's personality, blah, blah, blah. People love to talk about personality a lot, and I'm not going to sit here and say it has no bearing, especially for a guy. I think it's a good way to display your character, and that matters to women. But ultimately, in the end of the day, you being attractive to her is what's going to make her really feel a certain way when you do approach her, okay? She's just going to be more excited, man. That's just the reality. She will be more excited by you approaching her if you are one of those guys. So in my opinion, you should always focus on trying to become that guy as much as you possibly can. Even if you're not blessed in that department, that's fine. There's lots of things you can do, clothes, right? Great way. Demeanor is a big part of it. You can't really read demeanor on in photos either. So think of it this way. Also, context, right? You could utilize context to your advantage. So there's a lot of things you can maximize on when it comes to in-person interaction, okay? You guys still need to be focusing on this because regardless of the fact, regardless of this personality variable, which is so subjective in nature, you can't really measure it. It's purely based on the feeling in that moment, which could be anything, right? There's no measure for this. It's just an arbitrary term that girls love to throw out because it sounds good when you say it, right? But it doesn't really mean much in reality, okay? Personality. In one moment, you could like the funny guy, and the next moment, you could like the serious guy, and the third moment, you can like the dork. All depends on what that girl is interested in that moment in time. And it can change as well.
Now in this generation, all of this shit has created a divide and an anger against men versus women. It's really sad.
So No, it's not dating apps. Like I said, and this is where I fully disagree. Dating apps have not caused a divide. Dating apps simply expose a reality that already exists. The gap between men and women is caused by feminism. Okay, so there's a gender war going on purely because of feminism and modern society, right? The perception is that women don't need men for survival like they used to. I say perception because obviously guys maintain all of the infrastructure, right? So it's a perception. And as we know, we live in a feminine world. A feminine world only cares about perception, not reality. And why is that important? Well, because when you argue with a woman doesn't really care about the truth most of the time. She cares about her feelings. How she feels about a scenario is more important than the truth. All things considered, dating apps are not causing the problem. They're simply exposing a reality that many people already knew. That's all it is. If you like these videos, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out my description as I have my dating course on sale right now. Click the link tree and you can find it there.